And also this guy, Maurizio Bottalico, has proved to be no slouch. His first time ever here at Macau. And he is also on row number 4. And alongside him is Sam West. Oh, sorry, Michael Sweeney. It should be Sam West. Well, Michael Sweeney got into 12th position. Yes, he has. So sorry, it was Sam West is coming up on the official screen, and there is Sam. So he is heading row number 5. Lauren Hoffman back at Macau as well. Belgian rider. Alongside him should be Almeric Blanc. Again, an international feel to this event. Almeric Blanc, the only rider on Bridgestones. Then we have Marcus Simpson. And we should have Eddie Fair. There he is, number 36. One of 2 Frenchmen at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix this year. And also well done as well to Don Gilbert, newcomer. He'll be delighted that he wasn't right at the back of the grid. There is Paul Williams. Alongside him, Ryan Whitehall from the Isle of Wight. And those are our 20 contestants here in the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. There is Don Gilbert. So we got an issue? No, he's ready to go, ready to rock. So one of 4 newcomers at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix this year, Don Gilbert. Oh yeah, they want to get this tyre warmer off. As the grid starts to clear, we are 90 seconds away from the start of the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. So I'm getting a message that Davey Todd and Erno Costamo are under investigation for violation of starting procedure. Now, I've heard no more of the Davey Todd speeding in pit lane issue, but now they are, Davey Todd and Erno Costamo, under investigation for violation of starting procedure. Whatever that means. Whether anything will be applied at the end of the race, I don't know, but I wouldn't have thought so. I've never heard of violation of starting procedure before. And if I get any more information, I shall let you know. I certainly would like to know. So 20 riders lining up on the gear circuit for the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. Davey Todd on the left of the picture in pole position as we look at it. Costamo alongside in the middle, and Hickman. And you have to say, it's between those 3. Well, we're slightly delayed. We were due to get underway at 9:10. That's now gone, but we're not too far away. So green flag displayed at the back of the grid. So revs rising as they go off on this sighting lap, and they'll come back round. And they'll get things underway. Of course, these bikes full of fuel, 24 litres. It will really make braking an issue as they come into Lisboa, especially on the opening couple of laps. The bikes will improve as the fuel load is lighter. So they're fast out of here. The apex is so far around there as well, so then coming into Lisboa, knock it down into first gear, click it back up into second for this next right-hand turn for the climb up San Francisco. A little touch of the rear brake as well, just to keep the bike from popping the front wheel up. So third and fourth momentarily, then it's into the first and second gears now. Generally second gear all the way through here, through maternity. Through turn 6 and 7, turn 8, Teddy Yip. Then into turn 9, 10, 11. The sun coming out now as well. It's been overcast this morning. The other thing to mention as well, earlier this week we had plenty of wind, and the flags, there's very little wind, as we saw while Rob Hodgson there was fanning himself. Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix, the cars have been run later in the day, absolutely sweltering conditions. But because they're going now earlier in the morning, first thing before the cars get out, temperatures are reasonably cool right now. Sun is breaking through. Looking at temperatures around 23, 24 degrees Celsius at the moment, and we're expecting it to get even hotter as the day goes on. It's coming out of the Melco hairpin. That stretch from San Francisco to Melco, very rare we'll see any overtaking manoeuvres. But again, you've got to get good drive out of Fisherman's. Take it as close to the wall as you dare on the exit. It's really bumpy along there as well. A lot of the track, obviously it's a road, it's a normal street, so it is generally bumpy, but certainly round through this part is bumpy as well. So it's the last great road race of the year, the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. Davey Todd, on what he's proved so far in free practice and in qualifying, has to start as favourite, but what can former winner Costamo do? What can four-time Peter Hickman do about Davey Todd? Can Paul Jordan or Davo Johnson or Rob Hodgson get themselves onto the podium? Can Mitch Reese, a newcomer to the Macau Grand Prix, come away with a top 6 finish? Can Phil Crowe or Lucas Mora or Michael Evans get themselves into the top 10? Even Michael Sweeney, who knows? So the red flag is displayed. We are not too far away from racing here at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. The green flag is displayed. We're all set to go. And then it'll be watch the lights. Lights go out and away. Davey Todd, Costamo and Hickman left to right on the picture. All anxious to get away. There go the lights. And out go the lights and away they go. And it's a great start from Todd. Hickman up the inside of Costamo as well. Look at Hodgson. Front wheels popping up as they go into the first left-hand turn. But it looks to be Davey Todd who is going to lead them. Indeed it is. It is Todd from Hickman. Costamo's fighting back. And Costamo goes past Hickman. And Costamo is chasing after Todd as well. Through Mandarin they go. But it is Todd from Costamo, from Hickman. But certainly Hickman got ahead of Costamo, and Costamo hit back going into Lisboa. Oh, a really big move up the inside. Oh, someone's gone straight on. Somebody has gone straight on. Not too sure who that was. But it is Todd from Costamo. Hodgson's there, Johnson as well. So there is Hodgson, there is Johnson, Davo Johnson in 5th position. And it is as you are on this opening lap coming round here. But so it's Todd from Costamo, from Hickman, Jordan, Johnson, Rob Hodgson, Mitch Reese 7th, Phil Crowe, Mora, Evans, pretty much as they started. Sweeney, I think, is ahead of Sam West. Indeed he is. So Sweeney's in 10th. Coming down now to Donna Maria and then the Melco hairpin. Going through Moorish. And this is down in, this is Costamo just chasing after Davey Todd on this opening lap. And the one thing he doesn't want to do is let Davey Todd get away. And certainly Hickman doesn't want to be held up by Costamo. We did see when Peter Hickman won here a couple of years ago ahead of Davey Todd. They battled away and eventually Hickman pulled the pin and pulled away from Todd. But already Davey Todd is threatening to win this race on the opening lap. He is absolutely flying. So he's going to put in a time of around 2 minutes 30. Oh, and a move from 81. So Lucas Moura goes through on Phil Crowe, I think that was. He just made a... not Phil Crowe, sorry. So he makes his way past Mitch Reese. So they go over the line, 228.4 from Davey Todd. An astounding opening lap. Costamo with a 2 minute 30.5. Hickman with a 2 minute 31.1. And already Davey Todd, here he is, leading on lap number 2. 2 seconds ahead of Erno Costamo. Hickman half a second back in third. Then it is Hodson, Johnson, Bottalico in 6th place. While I was concentrating on the front runners, I didn't notice that Bottalico had sneaked up to 6th. So all the pre-race waxing lyrical about Mitch Reese, and it's Maurizio Bottalico, the Italian, absolutely stunning. Again, Todd is pulling further and further away. Look at this already. And I think Peter Hickman knows it's job over, game over, job done. Because even Hickman just seems to be not quite on the pace of Erno Costamo as well. He gained a few tenths of a second on the opening sector, then lost a few tenths on the second sector. So Hodson as well in this little group just behind here now. Then Hodson just coming into the picture ahead of David Johnson in that battle for 4th position. My goodness, Davey Todd. Well, if he continues at this rate, what we're going to be talking about is potential lap records, of course. The 2:23.3, the standing lap record from Stuart Easton. Purple sector, Davey Todd, but then again, you've got to wait for everything to get up to speed. The bike will improve. It's quite heavy at the moment. Ooh, that's quite normal, really. Coming down towards Fisherman's. The back rear just skips and jumps a little bit. Oh, Costamo takes it right out to the wall as well. So Erno Costamo really pushing. And to have Peter Hickman behind you, this is impressive from the Finnish rider. It is a BMW 123. Then Rob Hodson, the first of the Hondas. And we have another BMW in 5th place with David Johnson. Bottalico also on a BMW. So 5 BMWs in the top 6. Wow. This is sensational from Davey Todd. 2:24.7 on that second lap. Oh, Costamo's messed it up. He's messed it up. He's messed it up. He just got it wrong going in. Oh, and that's handed second place to Peter Hickman. What a shame for Erno Costamo. It seemed as if he was pulling away from Peter Hickman, but as they came into Lisboa, I think he got his line wrong, got his braking wrong as well, perhaps. And that let Peter Hickman go through. Peter Hickman says thank you very much and goes through into 2nd position. So Hickman is 2nd, but surely he can't reel in his teammate and team co-owner Davey Todd. So that is Hickman in 2nd position, but he has now got open road ahead of him. That gap, 3.5 seconds at the end of the previous lap. It's so tight through this section. Really, you can see here perfectly from the onboard. That's Davo Johnson just ahead of Costamo. Costamo providing the pictures right now. Oh, poor Erno Costamo. Looking really good in 2nd place. Then just that little mistake going into Lisboa. He's going up the inside of Johnson though, and he's got him. So Costamo up into 4th place. David Johnson shuffled back into 5th, so Costamo into 4th. Rob Hodson obviously in 3rd place. Here's the man in 2nd, coming out of Fisherman's. So can he reduce that 3.5 second gap Davey Todd has on Peter Hickman? So Todd crossed the line now. It's not the fastest lap so far. That's still on lap number 2. There goes Peter Hickman, 6 seconds. That is a big gap. Even with a quarter of the race completed and 3/4 still to go, 6 seconds is pretty big. So Davey Todd 2:24.8 on that lap, just a 1/10 of a second outside the previous lap, his fastest lap of the race so far. And there goes Costamo. Can he stop in time? Coming into Lisboa, he's gone past Rob Hodson. So Costamo back into 3rd place. Superb, absolutely superb from Erno Costamo. It shows really what a talent this man is. So Rob Hodson thinking, wow, might be on for a podium here. Suddenly finds himself back in 4th place with Bottalico in 5th. What is going on with Maurizio Bottalico? The Italian, a newcomer, is up into 5th place. David Johnson now back in 6th position. Lucas Moore in 7th. Mitch Reese down in 9th behind Michael Evans. Paul Jordan in 10th, which is a surprise. That is a big surprise to see Paul Jordan in 10th. He was 11th, he's moved up into 10th, he's ahead of Michael Sweeney. But yeah, I'm not too sure what happened with Paul Jordan. So Costamo now leaving Hodson and Bottalico behind. Meanwhile, Davey Todd not quite on lap record pace. Just coming up to complete his lap now. Just waiting for him to come out of our bend. The gap was 6.1 seconds between Davey Todd and Peter Hickman at the end of the previous lap. Here comes Todd crossing the line now. That's a 2:25.0. He did purple the last 2 sectors. Here's Hickman. And the gap, oh, he's only taken a 1/10 of a second out of Davey Todd on that lap. So it's as you were, Davey Todd from Peter Hickman. Peter Hickman with a 2:24.9. So Peter Hickman is now inside the 2:25s. Costamo with a 2:25.4. So Costamo yet to go inside 2:25, but that was Costamo's fastest lap, and that was overtaking both Davo Johnson and Rob Hodson. Maurizio Bottalico in 5th place. What is going on there? Incredible. Johnson now is back into 7th. Davo Johnson dropping down. Lucas Mora is now up into 6th place. So Lucas Mora on the Yamaha, the only Yamaha in this race. So he's now inside the top 6, and Mora would be absolutely delighted should things say that. Oh no. So that is Michael Sweeney. So poor old Michael Sweeney, after all the effort and hoping for a top 10 finish, has pulled in at Lisboa. By the looks of things, whether he'll continue remains to be seen, of course. And Rob Hodson has certainly got a lot to think about in the shape of Maurizio Bottalico. There is Bottalico, number 40. And Bottalico will be learning a lot from Rob Hodson, who knows his way around Macau. And Lucas Mora also on the rear wheel of Bottalico. And David Johnson just disappeared off. I think he's just at the top there. There he is. So David Johnson just losing a little bit of ground. And behind him comes Mitch Reese, Michael Evans ahead of Mitch Reese, sorry, and Paul Jordan. So the gap is down to 5.7, so almost half a second. Hickman took out a Todd on that lap there, but at this race he's running out of laps. We're coming up to the halfway point soon, and he needs really to be taking a second a lap out of Davy Todd if he's to think about stealing the victory from his teammate. And so Davy Todd pulling away, but Hickman has just done his fastest lap, 2:24.5. In fact, that is the fastest lap of the race. So fastest lap of the race to Peter Hickman, 2:24.5. Davy Todd's 2:24.7. Meanwhile, Lucas Moura all over the back of Bottalico as well. So perhaps fancying the Swiss rider taking 5th place from the Italian. No, Costamo was, I think, 0.04 of a second slower on that lap than his best lap so far. So Costamo in a very solid 3rd place, you'd have to say, at this moment in time. But Peter Hickman, again, improving his times by the looks of it through his own sector. So he's building. He's just put the fastest sector 3 in of the race so far. And you'll certainly see Davy, his teammate Davy Todd, on the longer straights. He'll disappear through these winding parts of the circuit around the top through Moorish and Donna Maria. But Lucas Moura could be one to watch here on Bottalico. Might be looking for a move at the Melco hairpin if he can get close enough, get inside, force the issue, get his way into 5th place. Mauricio Bottalico must be living in dreamland. Here we go. No, not close enough. But looking for the drive, just Bottalico slides that rear wheel out of the hairpin. Here comes Rob Hodgson in 4th place. And that would be his best result at Macau if he can maintain it. Here's Moura looking, and I think Moura might be going for it. It might just appear up the inside. No, not on this occasion. It's still Bottalico from Moura. It looked like Moura was shaping up for a move going into Fisherman's, but thought against it. And Rob Hodgson always has a cracking helmet design. So Michael Sweeney is retiring. Sam West is retiring as well, by the way, but all the guys at the 39th milestone will be disappointed to see their guy having to pull in. But it's been a splendid effort from the Irishman. And he'll be back, of course. That's what every rider likes to see. Clear track ahead of them. And that's what Davy Todd's enjoying. 5.4 the gap on that last one. So again, more tenths of a second that Hickman's taken out of Davy Todd, but they're lapping very consistently. Hickman, though, has gone again with another fastest lap, 2:24.0. So Hickman keeps putting in the fastest laps. So perhaps maybe Costamo getting ahead of him, as he did as they went through Mandarin down into Lisboa on that opening lap. Perhaps that might be something for Peter Hickman to have let that happen. But what we're not seeing, though, are 2:23s. We're getting 2:24s. Costamo still to go inside 2:25. In fact, he was 2:26 on that last one, so he was about half a second slower with clear road ahead of him. Davy Todd, well, I mentioned, I don't think it's quite, certainly not lower 2:23. It might be a high 2:23 on the cards for Davy Todd. Here's Hickman in 2nd place into Fisherman's. There you'll see, just sees Davy Todd as Hickman takes it right out to the wall. So they've seen Davy Todd, he knows he's there. So across the line goes, and it is a 2:23.7 from Davy Todd. So fastest lap of the race, 2:23.7, and Hickman does a 2:24.0. 2:24.7, sorry, he was a whole second slower there, so he's lost a second to Davy Todd on that lap. So Davy Todd with a 2:23.7, 4/10 outside the lap record. This could be the lap to watch for Davy Todd. Well, firmly now in the second half of the race, just waiting for Hickman to appear in the picture, but Davy Todd, here is Hickman. Davy Todd could be, in fact, no, maybe not. That first sector, 24.4, probably worked against him. But 2:23.7 from Davy Todd is still very, very impressive. He's been the fastest rider at Macau this year from the word go. From when we began free practice, even he surprised himself how fast he went straight away on a track that had not been used by any form of motorsport vehicle until 2 days ago. That could just be the fastest lap of the race that we get, 2 minutes 23.7. Still no change further down the order as well. Paul Jordan is in. Paul Jordan is a retirement. What a shame for Paul Jordan. He's been so strong all the way through free practice, all the way through qualifying as well. But come the race, what a shame for Paul Jordan. But you know for certain he'll have a cracking year next year, no matter where he goes. Really improved year on year, Paul Jordan. Gone from a really strong 600 Supersport rider and is now just as comfortable, if not even more comfortable, on a 1000cc superbike. So 3 retirements: Paul Jordan, Michael Sweeney and Sam West. So there goes Davy Todd across the line, 2:24.3 that time. So waiting for Hickman, and that gap's gone out to 7.8 seconds. So barring any mistakes, it's going to be Davy Todd who's going to be a winner of a race at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix for the first time. He won the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix last year, but that was obviously on the qualifying session. Now he's going to do it for real. Into Lisboa again. Superb from Davy Todd. It's 24.4 on that first sector. Half a second faster than Peter Hickman on that first sector. And we are in the final third of this race. Bodolico still in 5th place. Mitch Reese in 9th. Or two or four newcomers. I think we're just going to get one lap in this race inside 2 minutes 24. Costamo still a very solid 3rd place, but he's some 5 seconds down on Peter Hickman, but he's a good 10 seconds ahead of Rob Hodgson. Rob Hodgson looking very solid in 4th. The big question mark is Mauricio Bottolico in 5th and Lucas Mora in 6th. They're virtually going round together. Go back another 5 seconds to David Johnson. Michael Evans, really impressive 8th place so far. Mitch Reese as well, 9th. But Bottolico, all through free practice and qualifying, it was just all the talk's been about Mitch Reese. But now, Bottolico, the Italian, so the only thing standing between Davy Todd and victory, let's say, is if he made a mistake, if he ran on too hard, and he's a guy who just does not make mistakes. Or maybe he'd have an issue such as Michael Sweeney suffered the other day, but it is a beautifully prepared machine. 810 Racing crew really know their stuff, and it looks like their continued success will carry on here at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. Rob Hodgson, a very solid 4th place. 224.5 for Davey Todd on that lap, by the way. 220. It's gone out to nearly 10 seconds, the advantage on Davey Todd. So Peter Hickman knows that the next best result from a Peter Hickman win is a 1-2 for 810 Racing. Michael Rutter, of course, still the most successful motorcyclist around Macau. 9 wins to his name. Ron Haslam as well, 6 victories for him. The talk was, would Peter Hickman make it 5? But it looks like he'll stay on 4. And on the roads for Davey Todd, it's been a great year. He's had some fantastic results, especially in the Isle of Man. Oh, and it has got him. Mora's got him. So Mora is past Bodolico. So Lucas Mora up into 5th place ahead of Bodolico. But I think Bodolico will still, well, maybe having held 5th for so long, he might be a little bit disappointed. But if you'd said to him before the race, we'll give you a top 6 finish, I'm sure he'd have snapped your hand off. Meanwhile, Davey Todd is counting down the miles. Just slows down for Fisherman's. Just nicks it up to 50, about 150 miles an hour, the approach. Oh, he takes it right out to the wall as well, Davey Todd. Still prepared to push it. And here he is out of the final turn. It won't be too long before he sees that checkered flag waved at him. So that last lap there, 2 minutes 26.3. So he will certainly come away with the fastest lap of the race. 2 minutes 23.7 seconds as Hickman crosses the line. Loses a little bit more time. He's definitely eased back, has Peter Hickman. That was a 2:26.9. He's a second slower. So the 810 members and some of the MJR Racing crew down there as well, sharing the pit garage. But Davey Todd is making something very difficult look very easy indeed. And you know, there's certainly a lot more in the locker to come from Davey Todd in the future. Came onto the road racing scene back in 2018. That's when he made his Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix debut. Qualified 11th, finished 9th back then. Came back the following year, qualified 12th, and finished 4th. So that was a good indication of what was to come. Didn't take part in 2022. Qualified 2nd in 2023. Finished 2nd in the end by some distance to Peter Hickman. But this time the tables have been turned. There'll be some party at the 810 camp tonight, should this stay as it is. Marcus Simpson's just put in his best lap. So we've got another lap to go just after this one. Into the Melco hairpin, just slides it in nicely. Davey Todd, there is Hickman at the top of the picture, and that is a bigger than 10-second gap, we'd say now. Davey Todd coming down into Fisherman's, again just knocking back 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th, then 5th, then back into 2nd, and then hitting 3rd here, then 4th, then 5th, 150 miles an hour. So out comes Davey Todd. He gets the last lap flag. 1 lap to go then for Davey Todd. Peter Hickman in 2nd place still. And it's that gap, 10.7 seconds. We're waiting for Costamo, still in third place. It'll be a solid third place. What a shame for Erno Costamo. He'll be looking back on that mistake he made at Lisboa, thinking what might have been. I don't think anyone would have caught Davy Todd the mood that Davy Todd is in today. But certainly not far to go. And you know there'll be a big stoppie at the end of it as well from Davy Todd. Began his career off-road. Kind of came into circuit racing, tarmac racing, kind of quite late in his career. But certainly a fantastic talent on a dirt bike. But once he left dirt bikes behind, and so he switched his attention back in 2018, really has been impressive. So it's a victory lap for Davy Todd on the gear circuit here at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. Peter Hickman should be a solid second place, Erno Costamo third. Mitch Reese is up into 8th place, so he'll be delighted if things stay like that, but we're keeping, and why not, an eye on this guy. Just watching him, you're watching something special here. Even now electing just to take it nice and sweep around these bends, not going too far, not pushing too hard. He knows it's in the bag. He knows he doesn't want to make a silly mistake. Not riding on the edge. Such a stylish rider as well. He is a joy to watch, Davy Todd. Here he is coming into Fisherman's for the very last time at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. One more bend to go for Davy Todd. He will prove to be the king of the roads for 2025. Here he is, looks around. Up goes the front wheel, out comes the checkered flag. It's victory for Davy Todd at the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. Whether we'll get a stoppie right now or not, I think we might get one at Lisboa. Here comes Hickman as well. He'll be delighted with the second place. Obviously wants to win, but he's done it 4 times before. He'll be happy to take second place to his teammate Davy Todd. We're waiting for Erno Costamo. Here he is, the Finn. He will take the final step on the podium. Congratulations to the Finnish rider who came back superbly despite that mistake at Lisboa. Cost him so much time, but made his way past David Johnson, Rob Hodgson, who is now into view. And it is the best ever result for Rob Hodgson at Macau as well. Rob Hodgson with a wheelie. Team owner Robin Croft, who is a victor, previous victor at Macau as well. He will be delighted to see Rob Hodgson coming home in 4th place. Lucas Mora in 5th position. Maurizio Bottalico, we need to talk about the Italian, in 6th place. Here we go. We said something was special from Davy Todd at Lisboa. I think we might get a burnout. I think Peter Hickman might be joining him. Here we go, and Costamo as well. There are only 2 places that you can watch the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix as a spectator, the start and finish, and here at Lisboa. So they've pulled over the fans. It is a ram-jam packed full grandstand at Lisboa. So Todd, Hickman and Costamo on the podium for this year. That's what will go in the record books for 2025. I think Peter Hickman might be a little bit disappointed, didn't get the start he wanted. He'll have been disappointed that Costamo made his way through as well, and he never really got ahead. Maybe had he got ahead of Davy Todd, it might have been a different game, but as it is, there's been no matching Davy Todd this year here at Macau. Absolutely superb, well-deserved victor. Acknowledging the marshals lining this circuit, and what it must feel like to be riding around now, having just done what you've done on a motorcycle over 12 laps at Macau. There is not one person in the world who feels as good as Davy Todd does right now. Not one. And look at him, ever the showman. He really enjoys riding motorcycles. They all do, of course, but really Davy Todd loves it. What a talent, Davy Todd. Peter Hickman in second. Maybe we've had some great duels over the roads between Hickman and Dunlop in recent years. And of course with Davy Todd and Dean Harrison. It's worth mentioning, Dean, they're the 4 top road racers around at the moment. But maybe in terms of where Davy Todd is with Peter Hickman in the overall scheme of things, we shall see. It all means 2026 looks to be very, very appetizing indeed. So confirmation of those results: Davy Todd in first place, Peter Hickman is second, Erno Costamo third, Rob Hodson fourth, Lucas Mora in 5th place. So great result for Lucas Mora, and Maurizio Bottalico as well. Absolutely wonderful. David Johnson having to settle for 7th in the end, ahead of Mitch Reese, 8th in the end for Mitch Reese. So Mitch, another newcomer with 8th. Michael Evans will be delighted with a top 10, as will Phil Crow. Phil Crow's never been inside the top 10 before for a finish. Don Gilbert 13th, ahead of Marcus Simpson, and ahead of Lauren Hoffman and Paul Williams. Ryan Whitehall in 17th, but Don Gilbert 13th, Eddie Fair as well in 12th, Almeric Blanc in 11th.